Look, I opened this jar of rotten baby food, and well, a butterfly came out.
Do that and say, hey, has anybody ever been naked before? I mean, I would say something, something, naked
On stage.
naked
Naked and
in here.
afraid? Naked and not
You,
afraid?
they've
Have
been
you ever
naked
been
before, I assume. Yeah.
Has anyone here been naked and confident before? Welcome to the Comedians and Elevators podcast. I've got my guest, Marty Fidelman. Marty, say hi, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah.
Well, I'm Caucasian. I'm out here. I'm doing comedy.
You're doing Caucasian comedy?
Well, no, not really. No, I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything, and I'm in LA. I was born in Minnesota. What can I tell you? I just been out here, and I meet a lot of people.
You tell me about Minnesota. What's going on right now? Very topical. Have you experienced any Caucasian fraud, or is it only from Ethiopia? Not even Ethiopia, from Somalia. What do I know?
No. I haven't. I haven't talked to many people back there lately. I mean, I was actually there in. I'm trying to do the math. I don't know. A few months ago, I was there for a brief time, but it was pretty calm then.
All right, fair enough.
In October, it was cold.
October's
it was chilly. It was getting chilly. Not as cold as it is now, but it was chilly, and it was pretty calm. Pretty calm.
All right, so you ready to get started, Marty?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Listen, to my regular listeners, I know you don't like when at the beginning of these conversations I ask you to subscribe. None of us like it. I don't like saying it. I don't like it being in here. But it's frustrating. You know what else is frustrating? It's also frustrating when I look in the back end of the YouTube channel and I see that 56% of you that watch frequently haven't yet subscribed. And I know this because I see it in the comments section. You say things like, I didn't know I didn't subscribe. And that's actually what fuels the show. Basically, it's like you're making a donation to the show. So that's why I ask all the time, because it enables us to build and build and build. And we're going for the long term here. Hit the subscribe button and we'll continue to build this show for you. That's my promise. Thank you to all you guys that do subscribe. It means the world to me. All right. So the whole point of the podcast is to compare and contrast the comic versus the comedian. So I define the comic as any person telling funny jokes versus the comedian who's a funny person telling any joke. So Marty, would you agree that you start as a comic and evolve into a comedian?
I agree. There is a difference. The comedian is the one that, would you say, that's more naturally funny?
I didn't, but if you say so, then that's
one way of putting it. Someone that's funny, and then the other one is the comic is the one that just, like, you could train like an elephant to tell jokes, so the elephant could talk. You would is that the analysis of what you're saying?
I tend to agree. If an elephant, well, also if an AI could tell jokes, then it could talk as well.
If the elephant could talk, and maybe that will with AI at some point, but the community is the one, and there's some people that are just. Look, there's some people I think of. They just have this high squeaky voice, or they just something. They just, like, someone is a great athlete, and it's hard to put your finger on, but he or she is just got something. All
right. Fair enough. All right. Ready for the first question? Is that a yes?
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right. It's about the role of persona in comedy. So how much of the comedian's voice is a character versus their real self?
You know what? It varies. Sometimes it's just I just like the voice, and it's like, I don't care if it's funny. I just want to hear their voice. It's just something like a high voice, or Gilbert Gottfried. There's something about that voice. He could sit and read the yellow pages, and you're going to want to hang around. So some people, it makes it's a big difference. It's a big difference. But that's probably the way he is.
Absolutely. Speaking of Gilbert Gottfried, does authenticity matter, or is illusion part of the magic?
It's I think that's probably. I don't think that's far from what he did. He's probably doing that voice with his friends, before he ever got on a stage. That was probably something that he probably picked up in seventh grade or something. And so it's probably part of his natural thing, his natural. I'm not
Possibly.
sure
In fact,
anyone else would do it, but that's for some reason some people just talk and they talk like a frog or something, and I think that's so for him it was a very natural. I'm guessing, I didn't from his
uh-huh.
mouth, but I've just got a natural progression.
All right. So how about punching up versus punching down? So where do comics versus comedians subscribe to this? Did a jealous, let me put it in a historical context. Did a jealous medieval prince become the first comedian by killing the court jester?
Yeah, can you repeat the question? I feel like I feel like I want to make sure I got this right. Okay.
Did a jealous medieval prince become the
Okay.
first comedian by
Beady, beady,
killing the
beady,
court
beady.
jester?
The jester is the one that's a goofball.
Mm,
Silly one. Yeah. Yeah. The jester, the joker. No, probably not. Probably not. Probably not. It didn't help, but
he didn't make it. He didn't survive. So is the audience
no.
agree? So would you say the audience agreement with the comedian is a form of permission or alignment?
The comedian's
The audience agreement with the comedian, is it a form of permission or alignment?
alignment.
Okay.
Alignment. I mean, like if the people are all older and very conservative and they're not laughing, you definitely would do things differently than. So you try to, I was, try to align with them.
Okay. All right. So cultural translation of comedy. So how do jokes that work in one country bomb in another?
Mhm. Well, like like some countries, they have different, like the word bomb, means something in France than it does here. There's a certain phrases. They have certain phrases that just, don't make any sense to us, but to them it does. So that would, they don't know all the little phrases, little quirky little um, statements, a little, little. But
This
they
in,
they not get all their inside, be like an inside joke if they wouldn't get it.
so how does the silence when your joke doesn't land hurt? Physically, emotionally, morally, or spiritually?
Um, Not spiritually. I can rule that one out.
No?
Morally, no, not morally. Not really. I mean, it's a little bit. I just it's like I just think better. I just better move on and come up with something. Just
No
um,
pain. You feel no pain on stage. There's nothing,
yeah.
no,
But there's some people. Like I remember one time we did this show, and it was like it was like a kind of it was mixed, but like a lot older people, and they weren't laughing, but it's like oh well, whatever. But then afterwards, they all came up very nicely. They go, oh, I like that joke you did about baseball. I like that joke. They're like so they were just they just appreciated it differently, you know.
fair
But
enough.
it didn't bother me. They were all sitting there. They were engaged. Now, if they're sitting there and they were playing bingo while I'm doing that's another. Then that would be another thing. But they were all sitting there and they were all engaged and watching and smiling. So just
So are
some people just
com
don't laugh. Yeah, yeah.
uh-huh. So are comics more universal while comedians are more culturally specific?
Um, could be. Yeah, a comic would be comic. Yeah, like if you're doing just jokes and and you were in you would know there's certain phrases that you would say here that if you were maybe in Alabama that may not wouldn't get it or they wouldn't do jokes about something. So you should know that you would know that.
You should know that you would know that. That's
Yeah,
a good point. So then how about crowd work versus crafted work? So if comics riff like influencers in the comment section and comedians perform like in reaction videos, where's the sweet spot?
well, I'm not sure sweet spot is like, so, I thought about that the other day. There's people there's some comedians that are really, really good and they don't do it all. I mean, they could be like a, any kind of even any event going on, and nothing, no matter, unless someone, some woman walking by naked or something, no, they just don't deviate. They just kind of stick to it. And some people just do that. I think it's good to do maybe a little bit, like yesterday I did something and then we started talking and it was someone's birthday. So we sang happy birthday to her. It's just good to, I
Would you
think
cons
people,
At a show, would you consider a streaker as a heckler?
well, that would be a streaker, but I'm saying that would be in other words, if they did that, I would at least deviate from a joke I was doing about whatever. I would engage, open it up to some kind of comment. That's all. But I would. Some people never deviate. If something like that was um, different, I would have to do that and say, "Hey, has anybody ever been naked before?" I mean, I would say something, something, naked
On
and
stage,
naked
naked and
in here.
afraid?
Yeah,
Naked
well,
and
naked.
not afraid?
They've
Have
been
you ever
naked
been,
before, I assume. Yeah.
has anyone here been naked and confident before?
Well, that's different. Naked, yeah, naked, yeah, naked, yeah. But
Okay, so what
on
happens when a
stage,
comic when you're on stage? So what happens when a comic leans too much into crowd work?
um, you know what? It goes both ways. I've seen people just do that, and it can be it's impressive to just do that. But you could also get the impression that maybe they don't have an act and they can just do it. But I think if you can pull that off for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, if you can pull that off, the other power to you. I mean, I don't not sure I want to. I would do that, but I would definitely have things ready to go. Ready. It's something ready to f- fall back on as quick as possible, as soon as possible if I needed it. But yeah, if you can do that, it's not me, it's not a lot of other people I know, but that's a gift too, because you got to be thinking you got to be quick and thinking and moving and not alienating people. If you come on too strong and upset people, that's not going to work either. So you have to have some kind of um, communication skills, I guess.
All right. So, very important question. Advertising and self promotion. Who advertises themselves more? The comic, the comedian, or the magician? You know that place where you're not conscious and you're not sleeping either? That's your power bill to the electric company. Right here. I want us to be here with free energy, where the Wardenclyffe Tower meets the Eiffel Tower. But that's not where we are. We are here, where you've got the utility and you've got residential solar. Between these two, we know which one saves you money. This is where we can go in the meantime. But this is where I want us to be now, and this can be done now. So let me deputize you to represent DOSE, Department of Solar Efficiency, and let's get on the podcast and get the message out today. See you soon.
I'm not sure about magicians. Mm, probably the comedian. Probably the comedian. Yeah.
All right. So is self-promotion seen as selling out, or is it necessary for survival?
Necessary unless it gets obnoxious, unless it's just too much.
All right.
I
So
mean,
censor. Absolutely. So, how about censorship and offense? So, does a comic avoid offense while a comedian courts it to prove a point, like a magician?
Censorship.
Hmm.
Um, I just I don't ever worry. I don't worry about that. I don't worry about that. I think some definitely do it and to try to see how far they can push it.
All right. So, then who survives better in the cancel culture environment? The comic, the comedian, the magician, or the mudslinger?
The mudslinger, probably the comic.
Okay.
If you can just do simple, non-offensive jokes to anybody, that would be, yeah.
You don't like offensive jokes? How
I
about
mean, say
then?
the safest is the safest jokes. You're not going to worry about it. I mean, I've been to places where we were, we're doing these shows and at a venue, and they said beforehand, they said, don't do nothing political at all. Do anything. I
Okay.
said, okay. So,
Yeah, definitely. Not political is definitely, there's a fork there. You do political, non-political. You
you
can
know,
do political but sexual, do blue material that's not political. And so would that be acceptable in that venue?
blue political material.
Non-political blue material.
Um, oh, that's interesting. Maybe,
Mm,
maybe.
okay.
So we did something the other day and they said you can be a little bit more um, risque or whatever, however you want to put it. But I still wouldn't be alienating one party because you're going to lose half the people. So they told us don't, and so we just did. But they were okay with the other stuff. That place, but if I did something at a church or something, obviously there's stuff I do
Then
that's
you're
so
screwed.
so innocent, but I still think no, that they could take that the wrong way. Better not do that.
Okay. So timing and delivery, is it a science or an art?
Science or an art, I think it's a science that I mean, some of it is natural, but some of it is to pause and to make sure got your timing and get everything set up right. So it's natural, but the timing and you can get better at it. I'm saying even though you have it, you can still with the science you can improve on it.
Okay. So then do comics rely more on structure and comedians more on rhythm and emotion?
Um, Comedians do, yeah.
All
Comedians,
right.
comedian.
All right. Laughter versus applause. So are comics chasing laughs and comedians chasing applause breaks or a primetime Emmy that validate the message?
I would say comedians would be chasing
Okay. All right.
applause.
All right.
Probably.
Fair enough. All right. So how about comedy as commentary? So when does a comedian cross into being a philosopher or a preacher?
And making political comments and political commentary.
That's one
You
option.
know, I I don't know. Like George Carlin. I mean, and for some people it just it doesn't work as well. Um, I mean, it's like I'm really not as knowledgeable on every social issue to be commenting as so I don't say, you know.
All right.
I mean, I have my
Okay.
opinions, but I don't certain advocating it to everybody.
Fair enough, sir. Fair enough. So, Marty, are you ready to enter the multiverse?
Mostly what?
The multiverse.
Um, I think so. Think I'm okay. Yeah. I'm ready. Yeah.
Oh, you set? All right. Board game Zoomcast. play versus performance. So if comedy were a board game Zoomcast, are you competing as the colorist, adding tone, mood, and shading, or the Foley artist, building punchlines with soundscapes and timing?
I think the punchlines.
Okay. So does comedy work better when it's painted vividly or when it's orchestrated sonically?
Phonically.
So, okay.
Phonically.
Very consistent. All right. So here in the Comedians and Elevators podcast, we have a tradition where the previous guest asks a question for the next guest. And the previous guest was Emmett Marculus. And his question for you, Marty, is, are comedians worthy of political office, or are they just there to be laughed at?
Some might be, do it, but I would have to look deeper and see what else they have to offer. I wouldn't rule them out. I wouldn't rule somebody out for being that if they were a comedian or actor or plumber or something. But that's kind of a weird
Comedian, actor,
combination.
plumber. Is that
Yeah,
a
and
list of three
that's a
joke
weird
that I?
comedian, actor, and
What?
plumber walk into a bar. But
Well, how did they get there?
I wouldn't rule them out. I wouldn't rule them out. But yeah,
What kind of bar is this that they're going to?
what kind of what?
They're all
What kind of
walking in
bar?
at the same time. Yeah, did they all walk in at the same time?
Well, the comedian would probably be walking first, and
Is that because the plumber's cleaning up the mess?
probably, yeah,
Hopefully.
probably.
Well, I'm just, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
working the pipes. All right. So, last question. Legacy. Who gets remembered? Will the comic's tight five survive time, or will the comedian's cultural point of view be more timeless?
I think that the comics with the punchlines.
All right.
Because some of the
Awesome.
stuff that was said maybe 40 years ago, someone's complaining about getting clean water. It probably doesn't really, that it's not that relevant now. So I just think, but if it's some good joke about, marriage or divorce or something, there's stuff you could look at joke books written 50 years ago, and they're still just as good now.
I think you
I
can
don't
make
know.
an Iranian joke about clean water today. I don't know if that's
Well,
too
yeah,
political.
you just gotta change it, or just something about what was that nuclear place, Chernobyl. Yeah, something about jokes. If you're doing jokes about Chernobyl, then I could throw that something about. Of
All right. Fair
course, most
enough.
people nobody know what I'm talking about. The nuclear
Yeah,
little.
Chernobyl jokes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's a whole list of
yeah. It
Chernobyl
never
jokes
goes
that
out of
could.
style. Never.
All right, Marty, where can everybody find you online?
On Instagram at 24 hours one, and then I'm on Facebook.
Awesome.
And the website is just my name, martyfiddleman.com.
Awesome. Well, Marty, thank you so much for being my guest. And for everyone, please like and subscribe. And we will see you in the next one. If you're interested in too much information like in the network state or Mantipus the chicken shit, check out this video. Or is it this one right here? Well, either way. Lizard.